He's also got a friend over that way, and I think they should make a good app for them, for they can stand there with a sign that could be for an advertisement. It could say, the sign could say, watch Saturday Night Live, right? Because Saturday Night Live is a big conglomerate company. It's a corporation like Microsoft, right? And so they could have a sign that says, you know, go to Six Flags, right? And so that sign that they hold would have a little GPS tracker on it, and then they have a little app. It would be a little specific app. It didn't even have to be a phone. And then it would have a card in the app, and then by the end of the day, they'd have their whatever they needed for standing out there, because they stand out there all day, and they should be paid for that. And it'd be advertisement. They just hold a sign up that says, you know, go to Circle K and get hot dogs. And the sign would be connected to a GPS thing to show where they're at. And then money would go into an electronic card. And then they just go in and swipe their card and get the things they need and eventually get what they need. Why we can't invent that is because people on Saturday Night Live are too busy snorting fucking cocaine. Okay? There's too many people in the world that are business executive minds, and they're snorting cocaine. Okay? And those people need to stop snorting cocaine and invent apps that can help people that are really in need, right? Because we can be funny and we can say things, but there are people that are suffering in the world, and no one wants to invent these apps. I want to, but there's people like Mark Zuckerberg that will not invent these apps so that he can make another $45 billion off their suffering. Okay, that guy that's standing out there is suffering, and he should be able to have a small little device that helps him make money as he stands there, that can sell Circle K or Six Flags or Saturday Night Live or Microsoft, okay? We can find a way to make it happen. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, then F you, okay? Then heck upon you and your family, because I know that you understand what I'm saying. On roadie is common sense. You have to get it where it's close, and you got to look at the time and see how far you're away from you have to do the logistics yourself, kind of. So you see that something's close by, and you race over there and get there, and then it'll say start gig. That means that you got there quicker than the next guy. You don't want to accept something that's far away. Now, I don't know about what the radius is. I would say 5 miles. Reason why is because John Bunyan, back in the day when he wrote Pilgrim's Progress, he couldn't go more than 5 miles from the Church of England, or he'd be arrested if he spoke of the Lord. So if he went 5 miles from his church and he talked about Jesus Christ, then they'd arrest him, and it was perfectly legal to do. Now, they can't do that nowadays because the lawmakers realized, man, that's a stupid law. Why should I arrest anybody if they walked 5 miles from the Church of England and started talking about Jesus Christ? They really did this back then, okay? So if you think law is just, if you think law and order is just today, then you probably think that medicine is just too. You probably think that we're in a society where the medical field knows what they're doing. They don't know. They didn't know back then, too, because back then, when John Bunyan was being arrested, they also put leeches on people when they got the plague to hope the leeches would suck out the bad spirits, right? No one knew what they were doing back then, just like no one knows what they're doing today. It's not hard to figure out. You don't know what you're doing. So, I'm going to pick up this Firehouse Subs and drop it off at your doorstep, because giving someone food is a Christian thing to do. There he is. So this Doug doesn't care. He does not care. Oh yeah, got him a little bit. There's the firehouse stuff right there. All right, so we got it. Very understandable. So FR is very understandable. It's very simple. It's not complex at all. So there's no mystery about it. There's no pending kind of thing, really. It's just good to go really quick. But you do have to walk. And I always find my office, the best office, is the one that you can walk in, right? So if you can walk in your office, then you are the luckiest guy in the world. Now, a lot of guys are just stuck at the desk for 8 hours, and they better not eat more than a cracker. But anyway, this is going to their doorstep, and they can eat it up all they want. Jack in the Box taco sauce on out there, right there. Or actually, it's lettuce for the English majors. All right, we're probably in the most busy, when it comes to being on the road, one of probably the busiest places in the world is Arlington, Texas. Today's Firehouse sub will be delivered at Drooble, Brazil. Oh, sorry about that. Thanks, appreciate it. Crowded by a lot of females like that, and they got you crowded. It's better just to kind of do your best on the drop off. Probably one of my best ones, but they did get it, so it was plastic, so it didn't shatter or anything like that. But she'll get the food. Just when she opens it, man, I don't want to be there when she opens it. But she'll be okay. You can drop something, but the one that it never happens to is McDonald's. McDonald's keeps everything in one bag, so you just hand them the bag. It's like a gift bag. And I really do think that all restaurants should do like a gift bag like that, so everything is contained, and they have a special unit or a special person at each fast food restaurant that actually just makes those bags for delivery drivers. They could pay them extra, and boy, they make a lot of money, because people are going to be looking for that when they're picking stuff up. They want everything in one bag. Oh, look, they're all the way from Louisiana. All right, and I got some change, and we'll get some gas here in a minute. Anyway, I'm sure now Saturday Night Live is like a rehab, because I'm sure Lorne Michaels, if he catches any of them doing drugs, he fires them after, you know, the Chris Farley thing. I'm sure that's probably the case now. And John Belushi. And I can just keep on going with more and more names. Robert Downey Jr., yeah. A lot of them. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure he fires them after he finds them with, you know, a bag of cocaine in the dressing room. Yeah, he really should. He should fire all the comedians that are snorting coke. If he called the meeting tomorrow, it'd be like everybody but like Canon. Right, well, you know, this is Dutch Brothers Made Famous by Adam the Woo. He did a Dutch Brothers vlog. But we're going to pick up the Dutch Brothers, and we're going to drop it off at your doorstep. I'm only drinking tea today. So I'm backing up right now because I'm trying to figure out where the speaker is, and that's not a speaker, that's a triangle. So I'm gonna go this way. It's a triangle sign, Washburn sign. Okay, it's a Washburn sign, and so they have no speaker. So I'm gonna turn to the left right here, or merge. I'm gonna merge into this and ask them how they order. I guess you just do it old school Sonic style at the window. Well, old school McDonald's style. But McDonald's used to have to order at the window a long time ago. Is Adam the Woo's caramelizer. That's how I say it, brother. It's about 3 things completely wrong with that Dutch coffee. For one thing, I ordered a caramelizer, and then she called it something like a caramelizer or something. So I said, yeah, that's fine. Are you an English major? And she goes, hang on. And she's like, I can't swipe this because it's not, because she had to walk up to the car. And she goes, she kept dodging the question. I said, you're an English major, right? And she goes, so then I go up to the window, and the guy wants to just hand me the drink, which is an insult. So I said, I needed a cup holder, because obviously they know I'm delivering it. Then he finally, then he has a problem, and then he shows me the cup holder. Is this what you mean by a cup holder, sir? And I said, no, I meant an elephant. I didn't cuss then. And then he gives me the cup holder, and he goes, oh no, we don't need any of that. And then I said, go to hell. and then I took the drink and put it in the thing, and now we're driving. They can't be like really cruel and mean to people. Well, they weren't cruel, but they can't sit there and correct the way that you say something. I call it a caramelizer. I don't care what they call it. In their English major world, they can call it whatever they want. I called it a caramelizer. Doesn't matter what I call it, you know? You can call it anything you want to. You can call it broccoli. It doesn't really matter, you know? I don't have to say that, you know, I told them what it was. It was a caramelizer. And they know what it means, but then they wanted to you know, like to correct my pronunciation. And then he wanted it to kind of, you know, kind of discipline me on, I don't work for him. You know, he works for me. You know? So I should have fired him, is what I should have done. But I'll let him sit there and sling coffee for a few years until he finally gets the point. I asked for a cup holder, and then he showed me an empty cup holder. There was nothing in the cup holder. I'm trying to get the caramelizer. Is this what you mean by a cup holder? I didn't order the cup holder. I ordered the drink in a cup holder. I was waiting for him to put the drink in the cup holder. He didn't want to put the drink in the cup holder. I get it now. He didn't want to have to like accidentally put the drink in the cup holder. So that's what it was over. It takes a while to analyze like why people get snoopy, you know, or snippety. You know, that's what he's supposed to do. He works at Dutch Coffee. He puts the drink in a cup holder for the delivery driver, so I can put it in something like this, so it doesn't spill all over me. You get it? Okay. So next time, put it in a cup holder, inside the cup holder, and then show it to me and go, is this what you meant, sir? And then I would say, yeah, the drink in the cup holder, so that I can take it to the customer's door. So it's sitting there balanced. Why would I have to have a conversation about this? We're in 2022. And he doesn't want to put the drink in a cup holder. He wants to show me the empty cup holder. So I'm supposed to magically throw the drink into the cup holder. It lands there perfect. And then grab the cup holder and put it in the freaking thing. I mean, come on. Put it in the cup holder. Wrap it up with some duct tape. And then make sure it's sealed great. And then I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right. Wrap it up with some duct tape. Duct tape. Sorry, I misspeak sometimes. We're going to have to get some gas. Yeah, wrap it up with duct tape. And make that thing sealed. Like wrap the crap out of it with duct tape. So not a single drop can spill onto the ground. Think of the Merchant of Venice. Do it without a drop hitting the ground. Give me the cup of coffee without spilling a single drop. You know? It'd be like a Shakespeare play. And he's just duct taping the Dutch coffee. Golly, you know? Look at all these pretty trees right here. Isn't that great? Look at that. Anyway, he figured it out, though. I told him to go to hell because he can't, you know, he's trying to scold me on the matter. You know, I probably should have told him to go to hell. Sorry about that. I mean, if you don't want to go to hell, but just do, you know, you don't have to do a backflip. I didn't tell him to go out and put it all in a cup holder, like standing on his hands while juggling cats. You know, I didn't tell him to do anything like that, you know? Anyway, I just, you know, I asked for a simple thing, and then they start getting all kind of crazy. Nice neighborhood. This is probably the nice neighborhoods where they always order Dutch coffee. I mean, you're going to get coffee, you might as well get Dutch coffee, right? The Dutch are supposedly the first people that came to America, is what I've heard. They were the first people that colonized it, were the Dutch. It could be a rumor. I've also heard the Vikings were the first ones here. All right, it's probably going to be maybe this one right here. Sure that's not still yet. A little bit. It's on the top rim of it. Okay. All right. Yep. Looks like we did it pretty good here. Since that was a place your order, if you are going to tell someone to go to hell, make sure you get the card back, because you have to go back and get the card. So they really don't want to do that. I mean, they have to really irritate me. And usually when they correct my pronunciation, that's when I usually come down somewhere and basically just say, you know, just go to hell. It's better to do that than have to get in a big argument on how something's pronounced. We're in the modern day society. We have a book on how to speak ghetto, okay? And it's like, you know, it doesn't matter. The English language is constantly changing. It doesn't matter how you say caramel or caramel or caramelizer. That's what she called it. I can't call it a caramelizer. I didn't ask for a potato or a potato. And I don't really think that the cup holder's an elephant, but what else would it be? Oh, that's right. It's a drink carrier. Okay. And the drink goes in the cup, right? I don't put it in the cup holder. Yeah, they would put it in the cup holder. Okay. Well, at least my actions are correct. Plus, you know, I could have Tourette's. You don't know. All right, PF Chang's. It's a big one. And it went through at 126. And it's now 127. And we're going for 3. And we're going for 4. And let's go ahead and go 5. I did that. And going for 6 and then 7. Let's keep it going, going for 8. Let's bring it through 9. Got ourselves a number 10. Brought to you by Synergy. 12. Past that 13. Keeping it rolling. All the way to 14. Up 3 for record purposes. December 9th. Going for 17. Keeping it going. And night coming on $19. Wow. That's all gallons. All right. So we'll be going to PF Chang's. It's 1:34. We're going to stop and get a refill of half Zero Coke, half Coca-Cola. And we're going to be dropping at, well, I don't know exactly where that is, but we're going to be picking up at the PF Chang's. So a lot of reasons why I did this too is because speaking is an art. So to open your mouth and to speak is an actual art. So it is kind of like art. But it's kind of an actual art though. So that's kind of why I did it. So with FVR, there is an issue by using Waze. So Waze is kind of looked at a little shady. So what I'm going to do first is find the deliveries through Google. And then once I find it, I'm going to match the address and use only Google Maps. Does that make sense? So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to verify the address through using Google. Not Google Maps, but using just Google search. Then once I find that it's on Google search, then I'm going to hit Google Maps through the Google site. Meaning I have to do some of the logistics works. Meaning the logistic work. I have to do some of the logistic work for English majors, sorry. Logistic work. So what that means is that I have to go online through Google search engine, find the restaurant, verify the restaurant with the order, and then, because this is the second time it's happened with Waze. It brought me out here. Okay, so I'm not going to depend on that for my main source of navigation. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to search the restaurant through Google search, and then I'm going to match those two addresses. Okay, And then once I see, oh, okay, that address matches, then I'm gonna go through that site just as if I was a customer. And then I'm gonna find the restaurant that way. Because they're gonna have it correct on that, because they'd lose money if they didn't. So I'm not gonna go by the Waze that they choose, the WAZE navigation that they choose. I'm not gonna go by that. Because society or whatever, they see it as shady. They see Waze as shady for some reason, when it's not, and I'll tell you why. If you look on this, you can't report a speed trap like right here, but you can through the app. So there's people that go through here and they report speed traps through here. On Waze, it's very easy to report because you just hit this and you hit this button right here, right? And there's your report, right? Okay, that's why they see Waze as shady. So you wanna use Waze as much as you can, but for right now, we're gonna go through the Google search engine and verify the address, and then hit the address through the actual search engine, which will basically pull up Google Maps. And this is the correct address, okay? So there's a lot of kind of judgment going on online, and you gotta use your own discretion to figure out what's gonna get you there quicker, right? And everything is gonna be different. You can't do the same thing on every single app. It changes, and you have to adapt to the situation and the change. There's Walmart.com, all right? And that was an advertisement for Walmart. Very common that you can be brought in the wrong situation if you don't look exactly what you're hitting on Waze. See, what happens is when you get in through the app, okay, and you're on FVR, okay, which is initials for what I'm using, okay, what will happen is you pull it up, and the Waze navigation automatically kicks in and gives you like 10 options to choose from. Don't take one that just says like a highway, okay, thinking that that's the right option. What you want to do is get out of that app immediately, and you want to go to Google search. Find the restaurant that you think you're near at, right? In this case, it's P.F. Chang's. Find the P.F. Chang address and match it to what's on your app, and then click on that through Google Maps. That's what I'm going to have to do. Now, a lot of times I'll just click Waze. I'll use Waze for convenience. In a lot of cases, they'll take you the wrong way. So be careful. So I am stressing probably to use Google Maps, but here's the thing. Find the restaurant the way a customer would find it. So let's say that you get an order and you can see that restaurant and you can see the address that they give you, because they do that for FVR, okay? Get out of their way of getting it conveniently and go to search engine, find that restaurant. So let's say if it's P.F. Chang's, let's say P.F. Chang's near me. Now match that address, that's P.F. Chang's, with the address that's in the actual navigator of Google Maps. And they're all the way from California right there. So that's what you want to do. And then you can pick it up and without making it an error at all. This one took me off about 10 miles out of the way. They only was able to do that is by feeding it through Waze and making it convenient to tap on. You're not really looking at it, because I have to like look through a special pair of glasses to see it, or I have to do a screenshot of it, okay? And a lot of times I'm like, just press on it, and that was my mistake. So you can't just press on it. You have to match up the two addresses. It should be easy. Now they're going to have to fix this. This is a Texas originated app. Okay, they were in Philadelphia, but they pulled out in 2016. They're in Washington D.C. for a while too. I've seen one in Arizona or something like that. So there was like a FVR in Arizona. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Just do the abbreviation math in your head. Right, so I hit no thanks on navigating Waze. I told her to have a Merry Christmas, and I'll be going through Google Maps.